It's a peculiar kind of country that builds its future on education, then spends most of its time arguing over whether it ought to teach anything useful. We Americans are a paradox. We want children to grow up strong, smart, and moral. But heaven forbid they learn how to reason or notice when they're being lied to. That, apparently, is too political. So here's the truth, friends, and I'll put it plainly. We ain't in trouble because we don't know enough. We're in trouble because we don't know what it is we're supposed to know. And we're too proud to admit it. This here is paper number 4 in the new Federalist series. Written not from a professor's lectern, but from the smoky front porch of a republic that's coughing hard and pretending it ain't sick. So sit down, put your boots up. It's time we had a proper conversation about what education is supposed to be in a free country, and why the folks who hate it most seem to know how dangerous it actually is. Now, I don't aim to ruffle feathers, only to pluck the ones already loose. Let me ask you something. When's the last time a school taught a child what power really looks like? When's the last time you saw a civics class that taught how corruption actually works? When did we stop teaching young people how to think and settle for telling them what to memorize? I'll tell you when. About the time the powerful realize that an educated citizen is the most dangerous thing a democracy can produce. Give a kid the ability to think, and sooner or later they'll start asking why the boss makes 500 times more than the worker, or why the same 4 corporations own the news, the water, and half the land. So we stop teaching thinking. We teach test scores. We teach obedience. We teach how to sit still, shut up, and shuffle into a life of debt. But we do not teach the soul of the Republic. And that, dear reader, is no accident. The real war ain't on terror. It ain't on drugs. It ain't even on poverty. The real war in America is the war on knowing. And it's been waged with a smile and a sales pitch. You've seen it. Don't teach slavery. It's divisive. Don't talk about compassion. That's woke. Don't mention gender, race, climate, or kindness. Just stick to the facts. Well, here's a fact. No tyrant ever feared arithmetic. They fear a child who learns to ask, why? They fear discernment. They fear history told truly. They fear morality that bites, not just bows. They don't fear your freedom. They fear that you might actually understand it. Now let's get something straight. Education ain't a product you sell, and it ain't a privilege handed down by a generous government. Education in the commons is a sacred obligation, both to yourself and to the whole damn human race. It's not about making good workers, it's about making good people. So what should we teach? Teach civics, not just the preamble, but how a lobbyist guts a bill. Teach morality, not to save souls, but to stop cruelty from dressing up as law. Teach ethics, not from Plato, but from a parking lot dispute and a family dinner. Teach reason, not to win debates, but to lose illusions. Teach compassion, not as extra credit, but as the foundation of civilization. Because what good is a smart citizen who doesn't care? And what use is a caring one who doesn't know how to think? Meanwhile, the rich and clever are building castles of confusion. They give you 24-hour news with 23 hours of nonsense. They host debates with people who agree on everything that matters. They sell you ads in between your children's lessons, then tell you they're protecting parental rights. Let me put it this way. If a nation can afford bombs but not books, it's not a republic, it's a scam with flags. And if we don't start educating people in virtue, in compassion, in how to spot a lie in a necktie, we will lose this democracy to the loudest bidder. So what do? We teach. We teach like hell. We teach that education is not neutral, because morality isn't neutral. We teach that history is complicated, because truth usually is. We teach that freedom is messy, and it only works when everybody's in on the joke and the justice. Because if we don't raise a generation that can tell the difference between power and authority, between law and justice, between popularity and principle, then the next generation won't raise anything at all, except their hands in surrender. This is paper number 4 of the new Federalist series, and if it reads like it's on fire, that's because it ought to be. Let this be our creed. We educate not for profit, but for posterity. We teach not for employment, but for enlightenment. We inform, so we can reform. And by God we remember so we don't repeat. To know the truth is not a radical act. To demand it in our classrooms is not extremism. To call it sacred is American. Signed for the Commons, and for anyone who's ever been told to stop asking so many damn questions.